Hello, welcome to Sketch Day Live. I thought it was live for a minute, but it wasn't. Thanks for joining. And yes, things are a little rough this morning. Had some technical difficulties. YouTube changed their whole interface on me, so I had to figure stuff out. What's up, Tom? Um, yeah, so YouTube changed their interface on me, and I was like scrambling to. I like created a duplicate stream, and I was trying to figure it out. So apologies if you're watching on Instagram. Thanks for joining. I will be, or not. I will be. I do stream on YouTube as well. So check it out. Yeah, you're welcome, Tom. I gave Tom some feedback yesterday. Maybe I can go over that on the stream and show you guys a little bit. But I'm just gonna start with a warm up. I'm still using Procreate, trying to kick the dust off. I actually have no idea. This is one of the random times. Good night, gotcha. It's one of the random times I literally have no idea what I'm gonna draw. So drop suggestions. If no suggestions, I might do like a motorcycle or something, since you guys seem to like that kind of thing. But if you have any other suggestions, let me know. I'll go over the feedback I gave Tom. Tom's one of our patrons, so he posted on the Discord and I gave him some feedback. I think I'm gonna simplify the Patreon thing to like just simplify down the levels, because I'm not quite able to keep up with all that. So, but more on that later. All right, so just some straight lines. We'll do some circles here. I do try to warm up even digitally, because your digital surface is gonna feel different than your paper surface. Now you might think this is pointless. I could just draw and hold and Procreate and now I've got my shape. True. But can you do that when you're standing in front of a whiteboard and you're having to present to people? No, you can't. By way of other exciting news, I don't know if you guys are familiar with advanced design. I was asked a few months back to participate in a new venture. We're starting essentially an online design school. So I'm one of the founding members of that initiative. I'll share the link here with you. So it's called Offsite. You can check that out. The motorcycle continues to haunt me. Yes, Lynette. Or should I say, Mo Army. So yeah, it's gonna be a 12-week school. It's awesome, all taught by professionals, trying to fill the gap between traditional design education and what you actually need to know when you're working. I'm actually not teaching a sketching class. That's by design, pun intended. But yeah, I'll actually be teaching a class on design discourse. So if you remember the PlayStation 5 discussion I've had, or other discussions I've had, we're going to be learning about how to articulate a point of view, how to form a point of view, how to critique designs. And the classes will be meant to... Sorry, I should cut over to my laptop, to my iPad here. The classes are going to be meant to relate to each other. Oh, nice. Cool, Jordan. Yeah, you can hit me up on Discord or Patreon. That's fine. I think so, Tom. Looking at your skill set that I've been observing, I think it's something that you could benefit from. I think there's going to be some inherent challenges, like asynchronous learning. So if you're international, do you join the live class? Do you catch up after? We're still learning too. That's why it's such a great deal. At least that's what I tell myself. Anyhow, you can check it out. I don't want this stream to be all about that. So, but that was the big news yesterday. The big hit. Kids are back, so if you hear any weird sounds in the background, that's just them. Like little critters they are. But yes, so that we're catching up, getting glimpses into their summer. It's weird not having your kids around for a long time, and then for those who have kids, and then they come back. So, all right. So I got a good suggestion from Jordan actually. A snow motorcycle. A snow cycle. I don't know if I'll put anyone on the motorcycle. Or snow cycle, I should say. Let's see. I'll start with some sort of... let's get the perspective here. So some sort of frame. We'll start here. And then you said snow, so I'm thinking like a snowcat, some sort of treads. I mean, isn't a snow motorcycle essentially a snowmobile? Isn't that the same thing? Or no? Basically. We'll just call it some sort of all-terrain cycle, whatever it is. But just gonna get some basic form here. Want like a little affordance for your leg, of course. But yeah, Jordan, I'm not teaching the sketching class, so it's going to be a different kind of sketching, for sure. Alright, well, maybe it does have like a fatty tire on the back. I could do that. That'd be interesting. Just like a really fat, rare tire. You know, something like that. Maybe some fat pipes coming out the side. Something like that. So when you're working digitally, the other thing, and I've kind of done this on the last few streams, maybe it's a bad habit, but you can just work super rough, and then if something doesn't feel right or sit right, just make selections and start moving stuff. So if it feels like it needs to be up a little bit or further back, we can do something like that. And then now we have at least some indication of a fork, right? Some more clearance there, so that feels better already, right? Something like that. We can see the other side of the wheel. This giant paddle wheel, I think it should have like these huge paddle treads on it. So we'll just work rough and then we'll add the definition as we need it. This is a good idea. Thanks, guys. Maybe this will be just my only sketch today, but I do like the suggestion, so thank you. I literally was like, I don't know what I'm going to do today. And then we can also do that same trick we used yesterday. So scale down, right? So I'm going to place this one, and then we'll duplicate it. And we can flip horizontal, scale, rotate, and then even stretch it out a little bit. Maybe go ahead and warp. So just a super fast way to work. Yeah, super fast way to work if you're trying to fill a page. And then maybe do like another sketch up here. Could be a side view. Yeah, it could be some sort of side view side view sketch here. We'll just kind of put that in as a placeholder. Maybe this is the main gesture sketch. Keep that in there. And since it's snow, we can throw some mountains in for a background, something like that. All right, so I've got the basics for my page here. Not sure why my video froze. Sorry, guys. My video froze randomly. Okay, I'm going to start the Instagram live again. Something weird happened. Okay. All right. Okay, checking the chat. Sorry about that. What's up, Felix, Tom, Shruti, hello. Cyberpunk ATV. I could add some Cyberpunk stuff. Or yeah, maybe Sci-Fi Sunday. That's even better, Lynette. Thank you for keeping them in line, keeping them in check. You maniacs. Alright, so you could have something like this if you wanted to. Just like blue pencil over all of these. So with Procreate, I'll switch to the overhead so that the YouTubers can see here. Alright, but with Procreate, if you just pinch on these layers that you see here, so 2 fingers pinch down, see what's happening there? It's gonna like merge these. So I just pinch and they're all merged together. So that is, wow, I wasn't even using the right frame. It's like a low rent production today. Ugh, get it together. Get it together. If you do want to watch on YouTube though, Instagrammers, that is where I have the full resolution stream going up directly from my iPad Pro. Alright, so now I can sketch on the same layer, so kind of like, what do you call it? It's like having a separate layer without committing to the separate layer being there. So I can modify, kind of rough in some surfaces here. For example, let's see. Yeah, I like that. So maybe these 2 headlights, kind of like that. And if we want to change something, we can always... Ooh, I kind of like this. I don't know what this is yet, but I like this shape. I like this Y shape. So I'm going to pull that in. Sometimes when you're just illustrating concepts and you want it to feel realish, I call it realish. That's okay too. So maybe this is some like suspension thing. I don't know. Maybe. Or just a coincidental visual line that ended up working out. Either way, the continuity is something you want to have in your designs, at least implied, implicit, or explicitly. Either way. Either way. All right. What's up, Luke? And again, if you need to modify stuff, just make a selection. And then just modify it as you go. Do a little bit of a warp here. Just because I want it sitting up a little bit higher. Maybe give you some room for something like a flap or guard. Right. I'm gonna split this. So I guess it's more like a tricycle if I split this wheel in the back. Alright, a couple perspective lines just for gut check. This should actually be wider. Alright. Okay. So people keep giving me crap about my ellipses. Alright, so maybe this one has a round headlight. So we can do that. Or it has like two, like an asymmetric configuration of headlights. That'd be kind of cool. And I guess if it's electric or something, then I can avoid all the motor stuff and showing all that. Maybe. Alright, so there's two. Like I said, we've got this main gesture, but I like the Y shape here, so I'm gonna kind of keep that as a gesture. Alright, if you want to interact and you're watching on the YouTube, or sorry, Instagram, head over to youtube.com/sketchday.com. Alright, and then this one I'll just kind of keep as the default. Maybe it's just got a really long, wide headlight. Like the Cybertruck or Knight Rider kit, whatever. I feel like you say the word Cybertruck and people lose their minds sometimes, so I gotta be careful. It's a very polarizing design. Very, very polarizing. Alright, I do want a little bit more space on this canvas, so I think I can either shrink this sketch ever so slightly. Just kind of shrink this down. Maybe rotate a little bit. Yeah, maybe just a little bit there. But I don't want everything feeling like it's competing. It's also hard when I have, I don't know, I like odd numbers, so 4 things on a screen to me kind of bugs me. So it's hard to create the interest. Alright. So now, drop the opacity. I'm going to switch to, let's see. Do I want to do the inker today? I'm using my Procreate brushes, by the way, that I created. So let's see. Yeah, I think I'll use the inker. See how it goes. Try and treat this like I would a paper-made flare. Meaning just being deliberate with my lines. Or as deliberate as I can be. Just go ahead and add these details in. So are any of you parents out there? I'm curious. And are you sending your kids to school? How are things going for you? How's that all working out? I feel like we're being asked to send our kids to battle. Maybe that's a controversial opinion, but it's kind of what it feels like. All right, so there's my tread. I'm gonna try and reuse this tread. By the way, I don't know why my phone keeps shutting off. It's so weird. Oh well. I'm not gonna worry about it. Ugh. So weird. Let's see. Settings. Huh. Oh well. Does anyone have a recommendation of a channel to take or source that takes a sketch and transforms it into a rendering using Procreate? Yeah, there's this dude named Spencer Nugent. Runs this YouTube called Sketchaday. And what do you mean, Luke? You mean like a super tight rendering? What is it you lack? I'm curious. I'm very curious. Yeah, so I should be able to reuse this tread. On these other sketches. I guess I could have waited to duplicate these till after I had my tread in, but that's good, Felix or Felix. I'm glad you're staying safe. Hello, Svetlana. And hello, Art. Welcome back. I hope you patrons have been downloading the files. I can't actually see who downloads or if they get downloaded, but I do provide the high resolution files to patrons. Yeah, Luke, for real, what is it you're missing? Is it that my lines are too scratchy for you? I am curious. All right, and then let's go ahead. I don't know if I'll finish this whole thing today. This is actually taking longer than I thought it would. Making your surfaces look realistic. Do you feel like mine don't look realistic? Putting you on the spot, brother. But no, really, I am open to feedback. So if you're like, yeah, your stuff just doesn't look realistic, I'll actually agree with you because I don't do hyperreal. I figure if you're gonna do hyperreal, you might as well do CAD and model it up. Yes, that's the way I kind of see it. I did not see the T50 hypercar, Tom. I probably should do a better job of keeping up on like design things out there, but frankly I don't. Okay, just a quick check on my whoops here, something like that. Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to try and treat this like I would my paper-made flare drawings, which tend to be a little bit more deliberate. When I sketch digitally, I just found that I really hesitate a lot. So trying to get better at that and just commit to them lines. think we've had our first fight. Kiddos.
Actually, all I did was get on the couch.
Can we be chill? Thanks. I'll be right back, guys. Conflict resolution. All right, I'm back. Welcome to Parenting a Day. Yeah, so I'm going to be sending my kids to school. We just haven't started school yet. Had to give it a lot of thought. But one thing I do know is I cannot survive on 2 hours of work a day. Especially considering I actually don't make anything from YouTube. So I just have to be very judicious about the use of my time and all of that. Struggle with color selection and contrast. Oh, Luke is asking, so do most products go from Sketch to CAD? Yeah, I would say so. I think it's important to just find the balance, though, of... Maybe there's like a battery pack under here, actually. Or the battery packs. That doesn't make sense, but... Some engine thing, motor thing. Okay, going back to Luke's question. I think if you're learning to design or illustrate whatever, there's something good about doing things the hard way. So yes, there is value to your questions and wanting to improve in those ways. Okay, because like the better you sketch, the better you'll model. The better you model, the better you sketch. Like everything kind of works together. I've done that video on CAD modeling. I could do some more of that if you guys like. But the better you model, the more you understand surfaces, and when you understand surfaces, it makes it easier to sketch things and make them look realistic. So I don't know if that makes sense, but they kind of go hand in hand. I'm going to put a little foot pedal thing right here. And then I'll just hack this sketch and use it, use parts of it in the other sketches. So it's not like totally going to waste. And like I said, there was that gesture. I don't know if I can get it back, but... So yeah, it's worthwhile learning the hard way, but in real life, yes, we do a lot of like rough sketch and then jumping into CAD. But there's no real shortcutting the process. So that's just a function of experience and what you learn as a designer so you know where you can cut corners. If you don't know where to cut corners and you start learning by cutting corners, then you're going to have a problem later on when you actually have to think through things. That's my hypothesis, and I'm sticking to it, but I don't know, maybe, prove everyone wrong. All right, let's take a look. Maybe do a little bit of a windscreen here. For those who have kids, you'll appreciate this. My kids were yelling at each other because one of them was on the couch and the other one got on the couch. God forbid you're on the same couch as your brother. Yeah. Kids are funny. But we were all kids at some point. For sure. Thanks for joining Sketch a Day Live on this Wednesday. I'm going to keep it tight like I have been. Mostly because, well, today anyways, got to get the kiddos situated. I've got leaky sprinklers all over my yard. It's going to be a busy day. All right. Need 2 of everything. Yes, I know I need 2 of everything. I have 2 couches. I just don't have 2 TVs, and I'm not going to get 2 TVs. I don't even like TVs. I really don't. I don't watch a ton of TV. I guess I do at night. That's when I watch, right now anyways, The Umbrella Academy. Alright, something like that. Okay, so now I'll duplicate, and I guess, yeah, this is where I was like, I probably should have just put these in place, but at least I kind of have an idea of how I want to change the design underneath. So let's change I think we're going to change the lights on this one. And maybe some of the suspension stuff here. I'll change that up. Yeah, so I'll chop this, and then I'll do big light, and then little light. Kind of have this asymmetric thing here. Just go fast. Then, yeah, maybe a little intake thing on the side of this one. change that up. Modify the front fork here. Just kind of play with it. Just enough that it feels different. That's the idea. I'm actually going to move this guy over, and then maybe this has some like saddlebags or something. Just doing it in blue just to kind of imagine what it looks like before I commit to it. Maybe a little bit of a back seat rest thing. Yeah, I kind of like that. Check your perspective lines, and then just make this some sort of saddlebag thing. Hint at a suspension, or support rather. So when in doubt, rough it out, as always. Figure out what you're gonna do and then go for it. Now I am working digitally, so technically I could have just desaturated, but I didn't like the lines that I had, meaning they weren't clean enough. So I felt like I had to clean those up. Like one person wants to lie down, the other wants to sit flat. Yeah. Yeah, I always fought with my siblings too over everything, so I get it. It's different being a parent, and I'm like, can you guys just chill? Like, figure your stuff out. Conflict is not necessary right now, you know. But they're cute, so that makes up for it. And I love them. So it's all good. It's a Sketch Day Live. Hope you're enjoying the stream. If not, that's cool too. Oh yeah, so like I mentioned yesterday, tomorrow's stream will likely be either absent or late, and that's because I have committed to like an all-day workshop thing with Adobe. I don't think I can even say what it is yet. I'll just say we're going to be using some new products for the iPad. And I'm really excited for it, actually. Like, this one is, for my workflow, is kind of a game changer. So I got invited to kind of get a sneak peek and talk to some of their product people. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. I've actually been on that beta for a bit. Or as we say in the UK, that beta. Alright, so maybe some sort of tank thing here. I'm going to chop the bars just a little bit. On this guy. Hey Luke, here's what I can do for you. If you do a rendering and you send it to me, I'll give you like a critique on the stream. And I won't fix it for you. I'll just point out areas of potential improvement. I'll resist wanting to fix, but no promises. So hit me up in the Discord, send me your sketch, and perhaps I can get to that next time. Okay, so there's the second one. Now let's do one more. For this last one, I'll use the same sketch here. Let's duplicate that and just put it down here. And then now I know I need to erase basically the whole top here. Right. Keep a lot of this though. Ooh, that's a good idea. I just had an idea to bring this suspension piece up. So something like this, and then maybe cut so the metal would meet the headlight right here, and maybe come back under. It kind of feels a little bit RoboCop almost right in here. Yeah, I really like that actually. So this and this is where like you could do a rough sketch like this, but it definitely takes some finesse and cleanup to figure out what these surfaces are doing. But yeah, I like that. Of course, now I have to figure out how to resolve some of this. Maybe add another gauge here. So yeah, just change that front, and then I may change a few other things, like maybe this little side here. Could be the position of the wheels as well. Maybe I do want this wheel a little further back. Sketching the other wheel. I kind of imagine the like suspension or whatever going between the wheels. That's kind of what I was thinking. So this sketch actually shows the intent a little bit better than the other ones. But yeah, working digitally, you can kind of move fast and do some of these things. Also, sometimes when you make a line a little bit bolder, it essentially creates and forms a gesture that kind of defines the design a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with the Instagram stream earlier though. It kept like cutting out and freezing for some reason. And then I'm gonna have to cut out and freeze because I think my kids are about to assault each other. Just a guess. You know, brotherly love and all. Maybe a couple little tread marks or something. Background, like I mentioned. Then I'll do the top side view. and add a few things here, and we'll be in pretty good shape. But actually merge that down. When I turn off that underlay, you can kind of see what you're left with, right? So you can move pretty quickly. There's our initial sketch, or sketches. I'm actually going to merge these. Oops. And then, okay, merge down. And then I can 2-finger tap and adjust the opacity of the layer. So let's do my final sketch here. Just a quick gestural side view. What books would I recommend to a complete beginner? No worries, Antibus. I need to figure out a better way to do this in terms of notifying people. Fan critique. So a long time ago, I used to do this thing called Fan Friday, where I'd have people just submit a sketch for the week. Is this a new layer? Let me make sure. Yeah, it's a new layer. I would have people submit a sketch for the week and then kind of just critique it. So that's something I could bring back. It is a lot of work, I will say. But I'd be open to it. So I'm not really, in this side sketch, I'm not really following my perspective sketch, and that's okay. Sometimes I just want to capture a gesture for a sketch. In this case, just getting that raw side profile down. Truthfully, though, if you are doing product development, it's helpful to have these relate to each other, just to create a holistic story of what's happening. I mean, even for the back wheel, I could just do something like this to say, there's a wheel, and then, you know, maybe just highlight some of these lines as like, these are the main gestural lines that make up my design. Maybe even do something like extend them out. Here on the side, I'm going to carry this suspension through to the seat. So there you can kind of see how you can compose your design just with those gestures. Like, I don't know what's going on in here, but maybe it's some sort of trust thing. You know, just enough to kind of hint at something. Tom Humphrey's a really good example of this, and Discord's put a lot of his before and after shoe sketches. Absolutely. Share your work, practice, all of that good stuff. I will, I didn't give prompts, but I could say, okay, today's weekly prompt is whatever. Like, we're all gonna work on architecture. That's our theme. And then next week, I could check in and be like, hey, here's what everyone did for architecture. Would that be cool? Would you want to share your work? I know sometimes people get a little bit shy about it, so no pressure. But it might help make things a little bit more interactive. I could commit to that. Critiquing everyone's stuff would be really hard. And that's why I kind of stopped. But just a little check-in, like a little, hey, what's up? Might not be so bad. Whenever I do these sketches too, I like to leave the under sketch. Just gives it some depth and interest. I mean, turning it off will clean up the page, certainly. But yeah, definitely possible. Definitely possible. I kind of want to just keep this lines though today, I think. Just a nice line sketch. And we can increase the brush size a little bit. Maybe add just a few lines for shadow here and there. I definitely like the stance of that one. So I wonder, let me merge these sketch layers. I'm going to tweak the stance of this one right here. Maybe scale the wheel down a little bit and push this out. Some shadow here between the wheels, and then just to push that one back visually. And then now I can just shade in a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna have to wrap up here, go feed my little monsters. I can tell they're like foraging for food, like little squirrels right now. Probably have their cheeks filled with cereal or some other contraband. Scoundrels! Alright, that's a lazy shape. You could just tell. Alright, scale out. Let's turn off our underlay, see what we have. Not bad. Alright, I'm gonna draw. I don't mind this one so much. I think visually the canisters kind of balance it out. So I'm okay with that. But now I'm just gonna shade in a shadow here, just like I would on paper. If you want to see what that looks like overhead, here it is. We now have iPadception. It's an iPad inside an iPad. But this is basically what I'm doing. Just shading that in, just like I would pen on paper. I feel like with digital tools too, there's a temptation to like overcomplicate things. So sometimes it's nice to just keep it simple and treat it like you would a pen sketch on paper. Use similar techniques, approaches, and so on. Hello, Fabian. I learned to draw because of you and got accepted to art college in Romania. Oh, you're welcome. When do you start? That's so exciting. I'm so happy for you. There's nothing better than like following your dreams and having those become a reality. So I am very, very, very happy for you. And I do mean that sincerely. Like one of the best things is seeing someone do what they love and do it well. So you're well on your way. This is the first step. If you're just getting in, if you're reminiscing, well, congrats either way. But yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big thing. So happy for you. I may not be the best at what I do, but I am certainly one of the most passionate. Hope you guys can feel that. Like I said, I don't make money doing it, so it's definitely a passion project for me more than anything else. But I still do appreciate the support where and whenever, however that comes. All right. So we've got some vehicles. Maybe I'll just do a little bit of tone. So if I take one of these markers, like the smooth clean marker, for example, and I could use maybe just a warm gray. So I've got this palette. I could share this palette out actually. I could share that out, I think. Yeah, I could share that file. Maybe I'll give that to the patrons. But it has has cool gray, warm gray, neutral grays, some reds, blues, whatever. Just some basic colors you can use. So quick reference if you need that. Kind of handy. Alright, so maybe just some gray in shadow areas. I'm going to switch this actually to, yeah, just this real marker. Just shade in some shadows. So it's almost like you did the sketch with the marker first, but we didn't. That's kind of the look I'm trying to give it. Why, you ask? It's just a quick way to enhance this a little bit. Show form where you need to. But yeah, not looking to create a full rendering here. Just give enough tone. Something like that. And then maybe this other one down here. Hit a few spots. You know, stuff like that. Couple little effects here and there. And then I'll use some of this blue, big marker. New layer, because I'm going to want to erase. And then I'll just do some quick sky tone lines for my background. Or backgrounds, I guess you could say. Make those nice and light so they're not really competing with the sketch. So 2-finger tap. Come on. 2-finger tap on the layer, and then I can adjust my opacity way down. And then again, if you wanted to use that palette. So I'll share that palette on the patrons now have a special Google Drive folder. Hopefully you saw that notification or announcement, and that's where I'll be posting a lot of these goodies. So thank you for hanging out and watching, but if you want all the other goodness, consider becoming a patron. Because life cereal does not grow on trees. Just kidding. Okay, guys. So I guess I inadvertently turned it into Sci-Fi Wednesday. But we had fun. Sign this 2020. 2020 in the heezy. There we go. So we have our snow bike series that we did real quick. Took about an hour, but we did 4 concepts with reasonable detail. Antibus is asking what I do with my artwork when they're done. Sometimes I sell them whenever I do them on the stream. Sometimes people buy them. Thank you, Latrice. Welcome as always. Sometimes people buy them from me after the stream. Other times I just put them away. So anyhow. So yeah, we did our quick bike series. Showed you how to do that super fast. Again, just kind of rough it out, get some details and duplicate, modify, and you have multiple concepts. So super fast. I did re-download, Forge, as well as Concepts. So I'm going to do a show on that, I think next time. I just need to spend a few more minutes with it and see what I can come up with. They're definitely different apps. So I can just give like a quick overview, what I like, what I don't like, that kind of thing, if that's helpful. But once again, thanks for watching, hanging out. I'm going to go take care of business and I'll be around. So I'll be hanging out in the Discord for you guys, trying to pay attention to that. And again, if you want access to the files, that'll be available to patrons. So I'll upload that palette. And again, that has warm, cool, grays, neutrals, and a few colors you can pick from. Especially if you're using the marker brushes in my brush kit, you can use that palette. And let's see, I'm trying to remember. Oh, yes, I will be back tomorrow, likely later in the day. But I'm going to try and come on tomorrow and Friday. So that being said, thanks for watching and hanging out with me. It's been a pleasure as always. And I'll see you guys next time, hopefully tomorrow on Sketch Day. Peace and love to you. Have a fantastic Wednesday.